Today's extract is from The Light Fantastic, the second of Terry Pratchett's Discworld novels. It follows the adventures of an inept wizard Rincewind and the tourist Two Flower. Rincewind carries a crucial spell in his head vital for saving the Discworld, and the story unfolds. In this extract we see that on Discworld strong magic slows down time sunrise, causing a golden syrup-like dawn. The world rests on a giant turtle, the great Atuin, with philosophers pondering its purpose and gender. A spaceship, the potent Voyager, carries the first tourist Two Flower away. The wizard Rincewind, his past haunting him, falls without a helmet, and the story involves their fall and the impending disruption of time and space. So, 3 questions. 1. Why does the sun rise slowly on the Discworld? 2. What is unique about the great Atuin, the star turtle? And number 3. Why is Rincewind not paying attention to the view as he falls? As it moves towards a seemingly inevitable collision with a malevolent red star, the Discworld could do with a hero. What it doesn't need is a singularly inept and cowardly wizard still recovering from the trauma of falling off the edge of the world, or a well-meaning tourist and his luggage which has a mind and legs of its own. Which is a shame, because that's all there is. The sun rose slowly as if it wasn't sure it was worth all the effort. Another disc day dawned, but very gradually, and this is why. When light encounters a strong magical field, it loses all sense of urgency. It slows right down, and on the Discworld the magic was embarrassingly strong, which meant that the soft yellow light of dawn flowed over the sleeping landscape like the caress of a gentle lover, or, as some would have it, like golden syrup. It paused to fill up valleys, it piled up against mountain ranges, and when it reached Cori Celesti, the 10-mile spire of grey stone and green ice that marked the hub of the disc and was home of its gods, it built up in heaps, until it finally crashed in a great lazy tsunami, as silent as velvet across the dark landscape beyond. It was a sight to be seen on no other world. Of course, no other world was carried through the starry infinite on the backs of 4 giant elephants, who were themselves perched on the shell of a giant turtle. His name, or her name, according to another school of thought, was the great Atuin. He, or as it might be she, will not take a central role in what follows, but it is vital to understand of the disc that he or she is there, down below the mines and sinews and fake fossil bones put there by a creator with nothing better to do than upset archaeologists and give them silly ideas. Great Atuin the star turtle, shell frosted with frozen methane, pitted with meteor crates, and scoured with asteroid dust. The great Atuin with eyes like ancient seas and a brain the size of a continent, through which thoughts moved like glittering glaciers. Great Atuin of the great slow sad flippers and star-polished carapace, labouring through the galactic night under the weight of the disc, as large as worlds, as old as time, as patient as a brig. Actually, the philosophers have got it all wrong. Great Atuin is in fact having a great time. Great Atuin is the only creature in the entire universe that knows exactly where it is going. Of course, philosophers have debated for years about where the great Atuin might be going, and have often said how worried they are that they might never find out. They're due to find out in about 2 months, and they're really going to worry. Something else that has long worried the more imaginative philosophers on the disc is the question of the great Atuin's sex, and quite a lot of time and trouble has been spent trying to establish it once and for all. In fact, as the great shape drifts past like an endless tortoiseshell hairbrush, the results of the latest effort are just coming into view. Tumbling past, totally out of control, is the bronze shell of the potent Voyager, a sort of Neolithic spaceship built and pushed over the edge by the astronomer priests of Krull, which is conveniently situated on the very rim of the world and proves, whatever people say, that there is such a thing as a free launch. Inside the ship is Two Flower, the disc's first tourist. He had recently spent some months exploring it and is now rapidly leaving it for reasons that are rather complicated but have to do with an attempt to escape from Krull. This attempt has been 1000% successful, but despite all the evidence that he may be the disc's last tourist as well, he is enjoying the view. Plunging along some 2 miles above him, Rincewind the wizard, in what on the disc passes for a spacesuit, picture it as a diving suit designed by men who have never seen the sea. 6 months ago he was a perfectly ordinary failed wizard. Then he met Two Flower, was employed at an outrageous salary as his guide, and spent much of the intervening time being shot at, terrorised, chased, and hanging from high places with no hope of salvation, or, as is now the case, dropping from high places. He isn't looking at the view because his past life keeps flashing in front of his eyes and getting in the way. He is learning why it is that when you put on a spacesuit it is vitally important not to forget the helmet. A lot more could be included now to explain why these two are dropping out of the world and why Two Flowers' luggage, last seen desperately trying to follow him on hundreds of little legs, is no ordinary suitcase. But such questions take time and could be more trouble than they are worth. For example, it is said that someone at a party once asked the famous philosopher Elton Weedle, "Why are you here?" And the reply took 3 years. What is far more important is an event happening way overhead, far above the Tuin, the elephant and the rapidly expiring wizard. The very fabric of time and space is about to be put through the ringer. Answers to the questions. Number 1. The sun rises slowly on the Discworld because when light encounters a strong magical field, it loses sense of urgency and slows down. Number 2. The Great Atuin is a unique creature in the Discworld universe. It is a gigantic star turtle with a brain the size of a continent and enormous slow-moving flippers. It carries the Discworld on its back. And number 3. Rincewind is not paying attention to the view as he falls because his past life keeps flashing in front of his eyes, distracting him. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any suggestions for any books you would like to hear from in these videos, please do let me know.